Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that the American people and their every action are being ruled, regulated, restricted, licensed, registered, directed, checked, inspected, measured, numbered, counted, rated, stamped, censored, authorized, admonished, refused, prevented, drilled, indoctrinated, monopolized, extorted, robbed, hoaxed, fined, harassed, disarmed, dishonored, fleeced, exploited, assessed, and taxed to the point of suffocation and desperation. America is drowning in a sea of rules and regulations, particularly under the excuse of protecting the environment. There is a new language taking over government. The typical city council meeting discusses comprehensive development, density, historic preservation, and partnerships between the city and private business. Civic leaders organize community meetings run by facilitators as they outline a vision for the town enforced by consensus. Free trade, social justice, consensus, carbon footprints, partnerships, preservation, stakeholders, land use, environmental protection, development, diversity, visioning, open space, heritage, comprehensive planning, critical thinking, and community service are all part of the new language. But what are they really talking about? What mental pictures come to mind when those words are used? The language is being changed and manipulated to quietly implement a very destructive policy, one outlined in a UN soft law policy, soft law meaning it wasn't a treaty, called Agenda 21, first revealed to the public at the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro in 1992. The working name in local, state, and federal government is sustainable development. The term sustainable development was born on the pages of the United Nations document called Our Common Future, the official report of the 1987 UN World Commission on Environment and Development. As a result of this report, for the first time, the use of environmental protection and human development was tied to the age-old socialist goals of international redistribution of the wealth. And that is the key to understanding the true purpose of sustainable development and all of its policies, control of all facets of the economy. At the 1992 Rio Summit, President George H.W. Bush, in signing the document, committed the U.S. to implement the policies of Agenda 21. In 1996, President Bill Clinton, in compliance with Agenda 21, created the President's Council on Sustainable Development. Now, you might remember a great deal of discussion during the Clinton administration about the idea of a reinvention of government. Vice President Al Gore was put in charge of the reinvention. The reinvention, of course, was sustainable development. The President's Council, and its purpose was to translate the guidelines of Agenda 21 into public policy to be administered by the federal government. And that has become the ruling authority through which a UN plan, Agenda 21, has become unquestioned U.S. policy throughout the nation. Since then, rather than good management of resources, sustainable development has come to mean denied use of land and resources locked away from human hands. Moreover, it has become a code word for an entire economic and social agenda. This new political agenda is fast becoming a revolution, touching every aspect of our businesses, of our public education system, of our private property, our families, and our individual lives. It is now the official policy of the United States, put in force by literally every department of the government. It is the official policy of every state government and nearly every city, town, and county in the nation. Still, we are told by proponents that sustainable development is nothing more than good environmental stewardship and that it is locally driven. To accept that is a serious and dangerous mistake. So what is sustainable development? Regardless of what local planning groups tell you, the root of sustainable development is about a planned central economy and redistribution of the wealth on a local, state, national, and international level. The process by which it has been implemented creates a matrix of locked-away land, of severe land use controls, controls of energy and energy production, control of transportation, control of industry, control of food production, control of development, control of water availability, and control of population size and growth. Most of their policies and regulations are issued under the excuse of protecting the environment. This is the process through which America is being transformed. It is what your elected officials are really doing as they use terms like comprehensive development plans, energy audits, open space, and historic preservation. This is Agenda 21 and sustainable development. The Sustainable Development logo, and you have a copy of it in your program. 3 connecting circles. You see that in your program. These 3 connecting circles, social equity, economic prosperity, and ecological integrity, are known commonly as the 3 E's. I will tell you straight out, if you fail to grasp the social equity aspect of sustainable development, then you simply have no grasp of this issue, period. Social equity is based on a demand for social justice. Social justice is described as the right and opportunity of all people to, quote, benefit equally from the resources afforded us by society and the environment. Redistribution of the wealth. Most recently, the theory of social justice has been used to justify government takeover of health care. Simply run a Google search of sustainable medicine, and you will find the basics for Obamacare. This is the root of it. And by the way, Karl Marx was the first to coin the phrase social justice. Today, the phrase is used throughout sustainabilist literature. The sustainabilist system is based on the principle that individuals must give up selfish wants for the needs of the common good or the community. This is the same policy behind the push to eliminate our nation's borders to allow the migration of those from other nations into the United States to share our individually created wealth and our taxpayer-paid government social programs. Borders, they say, stop the natural migration of the human race.